Hello, everybody. This is Sunil Tulsiani, founder of Professional Investors Club, and I have another amazing expert interview as you guys have been seeing me do this. And this interview is something that most people have been talking to me about is how do we earn $25,000 or more per month, or whatever amount you want to earn in real estate, whether you live in Toronto, whether you live in New York City, whether you live in Mumbai. Doesn't matter what city or what country you live. How do you do this? And I have somebody with me that I consider to be my friend, my mentor. His course I took about 19 years ago when I left the police force, and I paid $5,000 for it. And we learned how do you earn in real estate? How do you invest in real estate, even if you have zero money or very little money? And throughout the years, we become friends, actually. And last year, I was fortunate enough to take Robert Kiyosaki and my friend, Mr. Robert G. Allen, to India. And we went to two different events, amazing 5,000 people, went to see Taj Mahal together. We become good friends. He's been to my home. I've been to his home. Somebody I love and respect, Robert G. Allen. Robert, welcome to the program.
Oh, Sunil, thank you so much for that trip to India. We had so much fun. I was blown away. Thank you.
You're very welcome. People loved you. We had a lot of fun. We were in Mumbai, we were in Goa, we were in Agra, where Taj Mahal is, with Robert Kiyosaki, and we had lots of fun. And I look forward to bringing you again to India, hopefully.
Hey, I'm ready. You
All right.
say when we're going to go.
All right, sounds good. Well, listen, we're going to talk about how to make $25,000 or more per month in real estate. And I don't really see anybody in my life. There are many people who I consider to be mentors. From a real estate point of view, you had to be the one that I somehow attracted in my life. When I say you, is your program, and then eventually you into my life. And I'm going to talk about somebody who's living, doesn't matter where, because a lot of people say, you know what, it won't work in 2024 because I don't know if the market is going up or down. Some people are saying market is going to crash. Some people think the entire financial system is going to crash. What's going to happen, all that stuff. So we're going to focus on, okay, I have some money, I have lots of money, or I have very little money, or I have no money. Can I still make money in today's market? And before I start, I want to remind everybody the first year alone, when I took Robert Allen's course, that was in 2005, I ended up buying and selling 77 properties. And believe me, I did not have money to invest in 77 properties. So this stuff works. There are thousands of people who have proven that nothing down strategies work. From Bob's, your work, and from my work with what I do with my folks. So let's start right into this. I wanted to say this to you because a lot of times people say to me, I have a goal, but it's right in here in my mind, and that's good enough, right? So let's start with this. If somebody wants to, let's say, earn $25,000 a month in real estate, as an example, what kind of goal? How would you set that goal? And how would you write it? What would you do?
My friend Brian Tracy, which I understand you interviewed him recently. Love Brian, and he taught me the basic thing he does every day. He writes down his goals every day. And so the first thing I would do is, do you want to earn $25,000 a month from your real estate investments? No matter how you're starting, write it down every day. And then that's a left brain. When you write something down, that's left brain.
Okay.
You need to imagine yourself living a lifestyle that is supported by a residual stream of income flowing into your life at $25,000 a month. Where will you be living? What's the home look like? What's your lifestyle like? Do you still going to work, or is the stream of income flowing in from these properties that you bought? So you need to attach both of them, and you need to have a deadline attached to it. So there needs to be a date attached to it. So what is it going to be? 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now? Whatever that date is, write it down, and then every single day when you get up in the morning, I am now earning, as if it's current. I am now earning $25,000 a month residual streams of income while I sleep from a series of real estate properties that I own on or before, whatever the date happens to be.
Yeah,
So
like December 31st, 2024, or December
exactly,
21st, 2025.
exactly.
Okay, so now we have an example of, and it could be obviously passive or it could be active income, obviously, whatever your goals are. So now we know, okay, you talk about how you would write a goal if you're starting out. A lot of stuff happening on the internet. There are a lot of gurus. There are a lot of people talking about real estate these days. The market, where's what's happening? Where is it a good time to invest in real estate now? If so, what's your thinking behind that for 2024?
It's always a good time to buy real estate. As you heard me say before, don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. And ordinary people start to they think of real estate like the stock market. So therefore, if the stock market is going up or down, they are worried about when should I get in, when should I sell, when should I buy or sell. Real estate is not like the stock market. Real estate is something you need. Everybody needs a property. And you mentioned earlier in a private conversation that people are worried about maybe the entire economic system is going to collapse. All I'm going to ask you about that is, where will people live? You're
Exactly.
going to live in your same home. You see, you have your same mortgage. It's ridiculous to even think of that. If it does happen, if it does collapse, what will that mean? That means there'll be more highly motivated sellers. And therefore, I'll be able to buy those properties for 10 cents on the dollar, for 5 cents on the dollar. So I'll still need to buy because people will still need to live somewhere. So it doesn't matter what the economy is doing. There's no unrealistic, there's no bad time to buy real estate. There's just a bad strategy. So the
Ah.
strategy is, what do I do? Well, during the COVID times and real estate was hotter and a lot of money, at least here in America, a lot of money was flowing to people. So the prices of real estate started to spike up because of demand for real estate. People were moving out of their offices and moving home to work from home. They needed a home and they needed a place to go. So there's a lot of demand for real estate. This is a time to flip real estate, to wholesale real estate, we call it here, where I tie up the property and I flip it to somebody else before I even have to own it. So wholesaling was hot, hot, hot 2 or 3, 4 years ago. Wholesale has cooled off dramatically now. So why was it hot 3 or 4 years ago? Well, there was a lot of demand for it and there was a lot of money for it. And therefore it was easy it was harder to find the deals. But then when you found them, you could flip them easily to anybody for a price that was higher. So suppose you wanted to make $25,000 a month. Well, the average wholesale deal is going to be $5 to $10, $15,000. So if you flipped a couple of those a month, yeah, you could generate $25,000, no doubt about that. But now it's a little harder to do. Now, is it impossible to do? I would say you could still do it. There are still people out there who see their properties have been on adjustable rate mortgages. Think of all those people who are on adjustable rate mortgage at 3%. And then the interest rates went up to 8. What happened to their monthly payment?
Yeah,
It doubled,
exactly.
tripled. It just went nuts. And therefore, they're stuck in a home that they can't afford. And what are they going to do? Well, they got to get rid of it. So finding the deals will be easier now to find them. It just be harder to flip them. Because how do you flip them to somebody when the market is down? It's slower. Interest rates are higher. Everybody's sitting on the sidelines because they think that's what they should be doing. The interest rates are high. But what if you found a property that was where the seller owned the property outright and still having trouble selling it? What if you negotiated with the seller a carryback financing where the seller finances his own or her own property, and therefore it could be assumable, It wouldn't need a brand new mortgage. You could literally advertise a lower interest rate, and you could sell it to a family. People need houses today. They need a house.
Right.
There's a whole market of people who are still buying houses, even though it's hard. You just negotiate a purchase with an interest rate that's lower so that you can advertise that to get rid of it in these times. So that's a long answer to say you just change your strategies depending upon how the market is acting.
Okay, in your course that I took and I've studied and what I teach as well, I guess a lot of times starting point people also ask is how do you find discounted properties? Like how do you find them? And you mentioned just briefly about motivated sellers or people who need to sell. So touch upon that. How do you find these people? Give me an example of how would that work to find a discounted property.
Well, when I went to San Francisco on this famous challenge that you've heard me talk about, or maybe your audience hasn't, but I wrote my book Nothing Down: How to Buy Real Estate with Little or No Money Down, and nobody believed that would work. So I said, send me to any city, take away my wallet, give me $100 bill, and in 72 hours I'll buy an excellent piece of real estate using none of my own money. Well, the three fundamental skills you need if you want to succeed in real estate. Number one, you need to know how do you find a good deal? And
Yes.
then once you found it, how do I fund it? How do I buy it? How do I use creative financing techniques to actually take title to it? And number three, once I've now funded it and now it's in my ownership, what do I do with it? Do I immediately sell it quickly for a chunk of cash, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, whatever, or do I hold on to it and get a stream of cash from it over a longer period of time? And when I went to San Francisco, they took away my wallet, and now I have to go into those fundamental skills. How do you find a deal? So obviously, I'm going to where real estate is advertised, and I'm going to look online. I'm going to look with real estate agents who have listings for properties, but I don't like real estate agents because the wrong kind of agent is usually destroys the deal because they try to be between the buyer and the seller, and therefore they're negotiating. And I like to deal directly with the seller so I can have them
Yes.
negotiate so they can sense who I am. They can tell from the way I'm talking that it's win-win. I want them to win. I want to win, but I don't want to take advantage of them. When you put a negotiator between you, it takes away your ability to persuade with your personality and with your words and with who you are. And as an honest, people can't tell you're honest. All they can tell when they look at a piece of paper and negotiating with a realtor. So anyway, I went there and I went to a real estate office first and made up some really wild, crazy, nothing down offers, and they pretty much asked us to leave. So then I went back to, let's see, where are the people advertising? Let's call them directly. I need to find off-market properties. So back in 1981, when I did that challenge, which is 40 years ago, we didn't have what we have today. Today we have software that helps us find highly motivated sellers. Now, you're located in Canada. I don't think you have a software like that here, like we have in America. But in America, we have PropStream and many other different kinds of negotiating softwares like that, where literally you can find off-market properties. So any of the folks who are listening, you're on your YouTube channel, so you're all over the world.
Yes.
So yeah, so those of you who are listening to the YouTube channel, if you're in the UK, it's called Property Filter.
Okay.
If you're in Italy, I can't even remember what the in Italy is called, but the one in America is called PropStream or Real eFlow. And these are softwares that make it so easy. You literally take the entire country, you type in what city would you like to invest in, and you zoom in on that city, and you can see the properties are available for sale now. And you can also type in and say, I want to search for people who are out of state, the property's vacant, is behind his payments, and literally you can sift immediately, and you can come up with dozens of properties that are available for now for you to contact these people directly. So back to finding, you with using this software, you can skip trace. That means you can find their phone number, the address where they live. You can text them literally, and skip tracing costs you 10 cents a name. So you give them a name of 1,000 people, 10 cents a name is $100. So you have the names, you have the text numbers for 100 people. Sorry, 1,000 people for $100. You can sift through those 1,000 people to find the 1 in 100, and it really does boil down to about that. It's
Okay.
about 1 in 100 that really, really, really is serious. So if you're having 1,000 you're looking through, you're going to find, 50, 20, 30, 40, 50 people who will respond to your text.
That's
And
what
then I just need to find one, and then I tie it up. Literally, for those of you who are outside the United States, you can wholesale a property living in another country all around the world. You can tie it up with a contract online. You can literally find a buyer, because if the contract is just a short-term option, so you put in all the clauses to protect you, and you could get your earnest money back if you couldn't sell it. You literally could flip it or sell it to somebody else who is looking for a good real estate deal. You can do it from any country in the world, and
exactly.
you can wholesale. So back when I did my challenge in San Francisco, none of that kind of technology was available. Today, it's not in all countries, it's just in a few, but in the United States, it's a major. So anyway, if you want to wholesale properties, that's how you do it.
Awesome. Sounds good. Let's just say also, because this is going all over the world, there are other places like foreclosure.ca.com, homes.com, Zillow.com,
Yeah, Zillow. Yep.
Trulia.com. There's a lot of stuff that people can sift through and say, I want foreclosed properties. I want property that is TLC. And some of it, although they're free, basically,
Yeah.
most of it is free. I'm just going to say something about wholesaling, and because we have a lot of people in Canada, people in Europe and India, a lot of times may not understand wholesaling, and somebody who's sitting there, let's say a homemaker, somebody who is trying to do it part-time, the wholesaling basically means you find a property online. You could be in Mumbai finding a property in Chicago, United States, and put a contract in. And in the contract, basically, it says that this contract is assignable, which basically means you take that contract and you sell the contract for a fee for $5, $10, $15,000, which means you don't have to get a mortgage. You don't have to qualify for a mortgage. You may not even have to put any money down at all.
Correct.
So I wanted to clarify that for a lot of people in case they didn't know, because we have people who are starting, we have people somewhere in the middle, intermediate, and we have some experts who are going to be watching this as well. But so remember this, a lot of people keep asking, how do you do no money down? And by the way, this is just one strategy. When I took Robert's course, there was 50 examples this thick course that talked about how people did no money down deals, nothing down deals. So today you can do that online, from anywhere in the world. You could be living in a little town in Africa, and you can still do it, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Exactly.
Okay.
So if you have money, you'll probably be tempted to go spend it on a property, but you're going to run out of money before you run out of good deals.
Yes.
Eventually, you're going to be back to nothing down, and this is where all rich people end up. They end up using other people's money, and that's all what nothing down is. So if you don't have the money, you have to have the skill to find the deals. And that's the most important skill, finding the deal. Finding the money is not that important. Even using the nothing down techniques means, how do I acquire the financial resources from other people? Somebody else has the money, maybe the down payment, even the credit, the cash flow. They
Yes.
could qualify for the mortgages you couldn't qualify for. So
Yeah.
my first big apartment building was, I found a great deal. I negotiated for a nothing down transaction, but it required a refinance, but I couldn't qualify. So I went to a friend of mine who was very rich, and I said, Stan, how would you like to have a half ownership in a 12-unit apartment building in a fabulous location? And he said, well, what was it going to take? And I said, nothing. No cash on your part, nothing down, no down payment. I will require your signature though,
Yeah.
because we need to get a new mortgage to refinance this thing so that we can complete the technique that I was using. It was technique number 32, actually. And he goes, so I just sign and qualify for this mortgage, get on this apartment building. Yeah, good. He said, I'm in. So using like 5 or 6 of the nothing down techniques, I had to cobble a bunch of them together in order to get it. That one property itself, I buy with nothing down using somebody else's credit. And then it starts generating cash flows that I split with my partner, and eventually I buy him out. And then that one property ended up generating $500,000 of my first $1 million in net worth
Nice.
from that one property alone. So what we're trying to do here is for us to break the attitudes of people. You've been swimming in lies when it comes to real estate. You've been told lies about the financial industry and about the real estate industry because they really don't want you as a weaker person. If you're a weaker when it comes to your financial resources, they don't want you. The real estate agent doesn't want you. They want to find a strong buyer with lots of down and great credit and great job. And the financial industry, they want the same. Therefore, they put the message out throughout the world that you can't buy real estate unless you follow our rules. And what I'm trying to tell you, those are lies.
Mm.
You can start from where you are right now with what you have. Will it be easy? No, I'm not trying to make this sound easy, but I'm trying to blow away the lies that you've been swimming in that let you believe that it takes money to make money. And you assume that it means I need money to make money. I need good credit to make money. I need a good cash flow. I need good financial assets. When I went to San Francisco, they took away all of those things from me and they gave me
Yes.
$100 bill. And I was able to prove I bought 7 properties in 57 hours and gave the reporter $20 back in change from the $100 he gave me, because I wanted to prove that all the prevailing ways of people thinking about real estate are not true for the entire world. I call them lies, but the point is, it's just not true for everybody. So you can start with where you're at, right?
Yeah, you know what? Some of my actually millionaires are part-time millionaires, meaning they have either a business or a job, and they became millionaires because of real estate, not big or multimillionaires. And I use the word millionaire, not necessarily just $1 million. It's and a lot of them actually are millionaires, no money down millionaires, meaning they didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of money to do it. And
Yeah.
that's, and people tell me in Europe, when I was in Europe, oh, it doesn't work here. Then I found somebody says, okay, it works here. And then people told me in India, oh, it doesn't work here. Then I
Yeah.
had a student in India, in Delhi area, saying, oh, it works here. People
Yeah.
told me it doesn't work in Canada. Well, I
Yeah.
have hundreds of people who says it works in
Yeah.
Canada. So,
Yeah. Exactly.
you check your laws. Of course, there are some places, maybe assignment may not be allowed or whatever, but there are others. We already touched upon 2. One is the assignment or wholesaling. The other one you just talked about was JV or joint venture partnership, really,
Yes.
where you use
Exactly.
somebody. So the idea there is that you can actually have bad credit, as you said, or no credit. You can have no money, and you can still become wealthy in real estate. And I would encourage people to join their clubs, like clubs like myself. uh
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
know how long you know me, Bob, for you're a member of my club. And I think that's where you sometimes find good deals, and sometimes you find the investors to
Yeah.
fund
Exactly.
those deals.
Yeah. You're always going to be finding either a good deal or an investor to help you
Yes.
finance the good deal you find. So you need to find both. And that's what I love, these groups that you formed. These you're crazy not to join a group of like-minded people who can steer you away from all the bad information about real estate that's out there. The reporters are actually doing articles in newspapers reporting about how bad the real estate market is, and they have no clue that if the real estate market is bad, that's good for us.
Yeah.
It helps us, as investors. And so the reporting is all bad. It's just crazy. It's just
Well,
stupid.
I was with Robert Kiyosaki of Rich Dad. I was just telling you off air. We had a mastermind. We had dinner together, and we were talking about what to do in 2024. And Robert called me up and said he wants to partner up with me. And what he said was, when he says to people real estate is going to crash or it's going to come down, he says that people think that's a bad thing. He's saying no. What I'm trying to tell people, it's actually could be the best thing of your life.
Yeah,
If you
exactly.
know what you're doing and if you educate yourself. So I would say, in addition to what Bob just said, is that educate yourself, guys. Just like what I did. When I left the police force, I had no idea about real estate. I took Robert's course, paid $5,000 in 2005. To me, $5,000 was like $50,000 in those days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it because
Yeah.
education, and then finding money, as you just indicated. Once you find a good deal, you can find these people these days, online groups. You can find them with paid elite membership like mine, and meet the right people: buyers, cash buyers, investors. Is there
Yeah.
any other place or anything else you want to add? Once they found a good deal, how do you find a cash buyer or a buyer or investor?
Like how to sell the property that you
Yeah,
find, or
yeah,
find the money to buy it. Um, well, it's all back to social media. Frankly, it's you should be everybody. That's what that's what you're doing right now, Sunil. You're talking to people on social media. People are watching it. I tell people that you need to, whenever you introduce yourself to somebody, you don't say, I'm a real estate investor." You say, "I teach people how to make money while they sleep on incredible real estate bargains." And notice the difference between "I'm a real estate investor" versus "I teach people how to make money while they sleep on incredible real estate bargains." They're going to want to know more about that. And
yes,
therefore you just tell them about an example of a property that you have found that needs some financing. And sometimes a person will either help you finance it, or they'll say, "Can I buy that? Can I buy that one?" Can So you're always in the process of raising money and selling real estate every time you introduce yourself to anybody. Well,
yeah.
I'm either
Well,
going to
there's
raise money or I'm going to sell them the property that I just found.
Well,
Right?
when I did the 77 properties the first year, nobody knew me. Today, yes, I have a brand and people kind of know me and all. But in those days, nobody knew me. And the way I went and approached the people was, simply I said to them, it may not be for you, but if
Yeah.
you know somebody who wants this property that has $50,000 equity in it, let me know. And then most of them said, well, what about me? I
Yeah.
want
Yeah.
to
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
that. And that's basically
Exactly.
what was, and demonstration of the numbers became very important. The pictures were there, but at the end of the day, the pro forma that actually showed the value of the property, which was by the sold comparables, as I learned in
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
course as well. Sold comparables taught, okay, this property is worth $100,000 and I can get it for $70,000, and here is the proof, right?
Yeah. 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 So
Okay.
you're a walking, you're just always introducing yourself to people, and online you do that in social media as well. You can even pay for advertising on social media. You can go, "I've got an incredible real estate bargain that I just found, and I can't afford it," or I think this would be a great deal for you."
Yes.
And you have people who respond to that. Um, I just had a friend of mine um, do a little dinner. You advertise for people to come to a dinner. And he
Yes.
says, I'm raising money for these incredible real estate deals I found. Do you want to play? And
Yes.
so he literally sells these properties at a dinner he holds on a Sunday night. So there are lots of ways of raising money. There's lots of ways of selling the properties that you find.
Yeah, because I still keep getting a lot of people saying, "Don't have the money, don't have the money." And so if we are getting a little deeper, I know we have about 5 or 10 more minutes. I would say that some of the things that worked for me really well was actually attending real estate events, and not just real estate events that people hold where they have 100 people, 200 people, whatever number of people in the room. And
Yeah,
if you can buy the VIP ticket where they allow you to break bread with some of the rich people.
yeah,
That worked really well for us and for me as well. And then attending real estate expos, that has helped me a lot. And then going on LinkedIn, where there are real estate groups that has 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 members, which are free to join on LinkedIn, that you can just join and say, I have a property that's worth this much, and I'm willing to wholesale it for only $10,000. You get 100,000, I get 10,000. There are groups right now that I am currently part of right now, even right now. By the way, if you don't know about these groups, you can go to LinkedIn. If you're not connected with me, connect with me. And in that group, you will know, if you're connected with me, which groups I am attached to. There's a group that has about 500,000 real estate members in that group that talks about wholesaling, talks about financing and all, and it's all free. It's absolutely free to do that, anywhere in the world. So, of course, there are other groups, Facebook and Yahoo and Google and other places too. But LinkedIn seems to be really, really good to finding money because, again, a lot of people keep talking about the money. I'll say one more thing. If you were to build your brand, and that brand could be built by, and you talk about this a lot, by writing a report, writing an ebook, doing a
yeah,
YouTube video where
yeah,
you give value, and then writing
yeah,
a book, for example, or
yeah.
co-authoring a book. You and I have written books together. We both have helped a lot of people become best-selling authors. And I think if you build alongside of everything that we talked about, you build a brand alongside of that. It just basically means that you're trustworthy and people can actually trust you to say, okay, I can listen to this person and do business with. Would you say that kind of works very well?
For those of you who are just beginning, that might be a little advanced strategy.
Hmm.
But anybody who wants to become a professional at this, yeah, you need a book, period.
Yes.
You do.
Okay. Um,
Because it just gives you credibility. When you say you're an author, they look at you differently. From that point forward, you become special in their eyes. You become an expert in their eyes. And everybody has a revered name with the name author, very revered.
yes.
So you don't have to write an entire full book. You can just write an ebook, a short ebook that has, 20, 30 pages in it that basically says, this is how I find my deals. This is this is a picture of a deal I found. This is one of my partners that bought it with me and how they profited. And there are 7 steps I take in order to buy my deals. They're the 7 secret steps I take. You could write that in a week,
Yes. Yes.
and you
And
put it into a
also,
PDF and you can give it away on social media for free. And when they raise their hands, you basically read my ebook. Let's work together. You bet.
yes. And also some of the people can write. What I do is collaborative books too. I've done it with you where you write a chapter, which is a small 2,500 10-page chapter. It doesn't take a whole 6 months or a year to write your whole book. And of course you can write your whole book as well, to build it. But if you don't have the investment to write a book or anything like that, or you can still go online and add value to the groups and add
Yes.
value online and and build connections and maybe have a free YouTube channel, and then just go on YouTube channel and record videos similar to what we're doing right now. But in
Yeah.
the beginning, you just talk about, this is how I find good deals.
Yeah.
And this property, by the way, has this $100,000 profits in it.
Yeah.
And then tell people, and then at the end, just ask people, if you're interested in these things, let me know. Would you agree?
I would agree. And for those of you who are just beginning, you might say, well, I don't know enough information for me to put a YouTube channel up. I would say your YouTube channel should be, this is how I'm earning 25,000 a month. I'm just learning all the systems. I've watched Sunil's things on YouTube. I've read this book or that book, and I'm now starting. This is my journey. Why don't you join with me? Let's go together
That's
on the way to
awesome.
25,000 a month or $1 million net worth. And therefore, it could be the story of you creating it. You don't have to start with anything. Start with
Yes.
zero. Just
Yes.
your story of having nothing. Good for you. Make it happen.
Last thing, Bob, I keep getting people from all over the world. They talk about, okay, you know what? I kind of have, I've watched the YouTube videos, I've read books, I have all that stuff, but sometimes they're not taking action. They're not, they're not doing it. There's a fear, there's something. And sometimes, they talk about mentors, they talk about people they can, learn from and then inspired by, and then have a real mentor. Obviously, we have both have
Yeah.
been mentors for a long, long time. How important is a mentor, and how do you find a good one?
Well, we're two of them right here. Um, uh, yes, a mentor is speed. Because they get you through all of the mistakes you're going to make. You'll make the mistakes if you do this by yourself. If you're an independent cuss like I am, you're gonna make. And I had a mentor that helped me get to my first deal in real estate, and he coached me through it. If I had done it all by myself, I would have made mistakes. I wouldn't be here today. So how do you find a good mentor? Well, you can do your research online. There are all kinds of people who are talking about it all around the world. They seem to be popping up all over the place. You join one of these investment clubs, frankly, wherever you're at, because usually they're run by somebody who really knows what they're doing, and they'll have expert people who have done it in their groups, and they'll have beginners in there too if you're just a beginner. And that's probably the best advice I could give you. I wish I had done more mentoring along the way. As soon as I got my first deal, and I just thought, well, I'm expert now. And I didn't join masterminds. And I did a lot of networking, but I didn't really hire mentors. It's not, well, in marketing, I hired a mentor. I hired Jay Abraham, who was incredible at marketing. And I spent maybe $100,000 with him helping with my marketing for my seminar. So yeah, I spend lots of money on mentors, but as a real estate mentor, you read their books, you join their live classes, you join their masterminds if you can. It's the best investment you can make.
Absolutely. Absolutely. If I can add a little bit, find a mentor who has what you want. Find a mentor who has then had helped others that you can actually hear them, whether it's YouTube or somewhere, to say, okay, I took Sunil's program, or I took Bob's programs, or I took that program, and I went from zero to this, because our goal is to continue to make 100 millionaires. And even during COVID, I've helped people become millionaires during the times when people couldn't even go out, for example. And some of them, some of them just made 100,000, 200,000, 500,000. Some of them made 1.8 million or $2 million. What I'm suggesting is that find a person that has done what you want to do, has the results, and then they have actually helped others get those
Yeah,
results. Wouldn't that
yeah,
be a great, that would be a great
yeah.
mentor?
Because a lot of people know what to do, but they won't mentor you, and then
Yes,
and they won't mentor you. They haven't mentored other people, therefore they don't have the skill of
yes,
transferring their knowledge to a person who actually does it.
that's right.
So it's yeah, yeah. Um, I'm 75 now, in my later stages, but the greatest joy I get is when somebody's picked up a copy of my book or they've been
Yes.
to one of my events one of my speeches or been to one of my seminars, and they come up to me and they say, "You changed my life." And I'll tell them, No, 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 no. I gave you the information. I might have been the catalyst to get you over the fear. I made it simple enough so you could say, I can do this. But you went and did it. And that means you are the hero. You are the hero, not me. And I love when I get a story because it's a heroic thing they did. They broke out of their fear. And we both, Sunil and I will challenge you to step out of the box of fear that surrounds you and move towards the lifestyle you really want, because it's
Yes,
going to be
and
a heroic journey to get there.
I'm one of yours. You know, you told me
Yeah,
many,
you're
many
probably one
times.
of my most successful students in my entire career. I'm looking at you right now, and for you to invite me to come is a greatest honor for me. It gives me such a um, wonderful, warm feeling, Sunil, that I've been helpful in your life, but you've been helpful in so many lives, and I saw it in India. I saw what you did in India. These are your people. You are the actual slumdog millionaire. You are looking at him right here. This is the slumdog millionaire. He came from a slum in India and came to Canada and went back to the slums. We went into the slums in Mumbai. We saw the slums. I saw them with my own eyes. Sunil lived in a slum like that, and have him go back to teach his people. It was just wonderful, wonderful.
It brought tears to my eyes because we were in Mumbai. I'm from Delhi, but we went to Mumbai with Robert Kiyosaki and Robert Allen, and we went. And there was a point where we were in this area where there's a lot of young kids, young kids. They were like 15 or 20, maybe more,
Yeah, yeah.
and they were all so excited to just get a cookie. And then we said, okay, everybody just go to this. So we went to the store and we said, give them whatever they want. And I said to Bob at that time that I was one of those kids many, many years ago, because even when I was there, once in a while you would have somebody come in and do that. And I never thought I would be one of those people ever in my
Yeah,
life.
yeah,
And to visit those areas with you and with Robert Kiyosaki was completely life-changing for me.
yeah. We went from the richest hotel and the suite of the richest hotel in Mumbai, maybe even in all of India, that cost, was it 40,000 a night, something like
Yes,
that?
yes.
$40,000 a night. We walked through the suite of that hotel, and we got in a car and we drove directly to the slums of Mumbai, where the rent was $4 a night, 40 cents a night. And the comparison between those two, were shocking, to go
Yes.
from the richest to the poorest in one afternoon. So people ask us, why do we do this? Sunil, why would you spend time on social media doing this? And there's so many skeptical people. They say, we're doing this because we want to make a lot of money from the coaching and for the groups that we put together. Well, yes, we do. We do make money at that. Absolutely. But that's not why we do this. We do
It's
this because
beyond that. It's
we
beyond.
we love these success stories we create. This is our purpose in life. This is the song we sing.
Yes.
So you're hearing the song that we're singing right now. If you want to sing a song like that, then learn what we know. Go find your own mentor, whatever you need to do, but get in real estate ASAP.
Exactly. And as we end, what's your favorite book of yours?
Of mine, multiple streams of income, I think, is probably one of mine, and then the other one would be the 1 Minute Millionaire, which is both a right brain and a left brain book. I love both of these. They both sold 1 million copies, and
That's
they've
awesome.
changed lots of lives around the world. I had somebody come up to me in Japan, and he says, Robert, we're at a lunch, a beautiful lunch, a beautiful hotel, and he says, Robert, look out the window. See that park right there? That's where I was homeless.
Oh, wow.
And somebody sent me to a used bookstore, and I bought a copy of your book, Multiple Streams of Income. And now I'm a multimillionaire. But I was in that park right there. I saw it. He pointed to it. So I've had lots of stories like that.
What could you point out one or two books that are not yours that you think people should read?
In terms of the systems for making money on real estate?
Yeah, well, it could be real estate, it could be entrepreneurship, it could be business, cash.
Well, obviously, Think and Grow Rich is the granddaddy. If you haven't read that
Yes,
one, then yeah, you need to get that one. Influence, because you have to learn how to persuade people. 3 skills: system skills, people skills, and mindset skills. So when it comes to system skills, you can get my book. When it comes to people skills, get Influence by Cialdini, Cialdini. Powerful book. Teach you how to persuade. If you want to do mindset skills, it's Think and Grow Rich, or my book, The 4 Maps of Happy, Successful People, that you are in the middle of reading right now, Sunil.
yes.
Those are mindsets. You gotta learn all 3 of those fundamentals.
Sounds
And
good. Thank you. Thank you, Bob. I really appreciate you. You give your generous time every time I ask you, you come on and you're giving it away, the knowledge, skill, inspiration, just because I've asked you, and we don't know how many people, thousands of people are going to be inspired to become our next millionaires and multimillionaires. So God bless you and thank you.
RobertAllen.com. We'll see you.
Yes, and if you want to check out robertallen.com, please check out, and also the books that Bob talked about, please check them out as well. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please do like it, comment it. You know what to do. Take good care. Bye-bye.
See you, Sunil.